On Friday, we read a citation in memoriam from my friend Jeff Scott. I knew Jeff in his capacity as the president of the Nordic Ski Association of Anchorage. Jeff and I worked together for several years to bring snowmaking capability to Kincaid Park in Anchorage. It took several years, as I mentioned, but we finally got snowmaking system on nearly 3 kilometers of trail. This has allowed us to host a wide variety of ski races, such as the high school state championships, I think the World Junior Biathlon races, and most recently, this past February, the U.S. Nationals for cross-country skiing. Working with Jeff was always a pleasure. Despite the many setbacks and complications during our snowmaking endeavor, he was consistently positive, upbeat, and optimistic. The interesting thing about Jeff was that he was diagnosed with a brain tumor the exact same week as my daughter, which was July 11th of 2016. My daughter Liesel had a pilocytic astrocytoma, which is benign, but Jeff was diagnosed with a glioblastoma, which is malignant. Jeff, unfortunately, although Jeff had subsequent surgeries and chemo, it was to no avail. He died about a year after his diagnosis. During that year, I would fly home to Anchorage and I would meet with Jeff just to see how he was doing. And he was upbeat that whole time. He and his wife were hopeful, and they were gonna fight this thing, and they did everything right with the food and the exercise and the community support. Both my daughter and Jeff engaged in standard therapies as well as unconventional ones. For my daughter, she was injected with a bright green glowing liquid, like about this big around, 24 hours before surgery, that made her tumor glow bright green when shined under a special light. So I do want to pause here and relate this experience with an actual bills that we see here in the legislature. So recently, the Senate Health and Social Services Committee saw HB 43, the right to try new drugs for the terminally ill. I thought a lot about Jeff Scott as we heard this bill in committee. These bills are real. They affect real people. In the last year, one of the therapies that is currently being researched is to treat glioblastomas is the Zika virus. Now, Zika has been most prevalent in South America and affects the growth of a fetus's head while in utero. Research shows that viruses could possibly be used to specifically target and destroy glioblastoma cancer cells in the brain. Mr. President, life works in mysterious ways. My daughter is currently studying biomedical engineering in college, largely because of this experience. I am honing my public policy skills as we speak. Maybe someday my daughter and I will combine efforts to look for opportunities to help advocate and promote cutting-edge research and to address a variety of cancers. Jeff, you will be in my thoughts as I ski the Kincaid trails, and I will also think of you as I continue to focus on brain tumors in the many years to come, so hopefully this disease becomes a thing of the past. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.